In this video I'm going to work through question number 23 on this exam paper. Now this exam paper is from 2011. It's actually paper 4 for the higher tier of GCSE mathematics. So I shall work through question number 23, giving full explanation of how to do the question, along with hopefully some other useful exam comments which will include the maths marks awarded for this particular question. Should you like your own copy of this paper 4 and also paper 3 and the DVDs where I go through all the questions in detail, then you can find out more from mathstutor.biz or mathsdvds.co.uk. GCSE Higher from 2011, it's paper 4, it's question 23. In the diagram, the large rectangle is of length 3x plus 8 and width x. So the x really, I think, should have been a bit higher, shouldn't it? That's x there, and that's 3x plus 8. The shaded rectangle is x long, so that's x, and 4 wide. It's cut out and removed. The area of the bit that's left, the unshaded bit, is 200 square centimetres. Show that is true and then do something else. So the whole rectangle is x by 3x plus 8 and it has this bit cut away, and the area that's left is in fact 200. Now there's no room there for me to do any working out. So here we have it again with the basis of the question. So let's look at part A. The area of the whole rectangle is its length times its width, or its width times its length. I'll put it round this way. Minus the area of this, which is its length times its width. And that equals 200 square centimetres, because you're told that's the area that's left. When you do an equation, you don't put the units in. You do make sure that everything is in the same units. As long as everything is in the same units, you don't put the units in. I just thought I'd mention that. Let's remove these brackets. X times 3x, x times minus 8, and this is just 4x, so it's minus 4x. So if we put these two together, we'll get 12 minus 12x. It's a lousy looking x. If we now subtract 200 from both sides, we get what we've been asked to find. So there's no marks for the answer. There's no marks for getting that because you're told to get that. So here's another case of no marks for the answer. However, you do get marks for the working out. So we'll have a mark for that sentence or statement there, mark for that and mark for that, because it's actually 3 marks there for obtaining the required equation. Part B says find the length of the smaller rectangle. In other words, find what x is, because x is the length of the smaller rectangle. Could have said find the width of the bigger rectangle, because that's x as well. It's a quadratic equation because it's got an x squared in it. How we solve quadratic equations, one way is to factorise, but the examiner is giving you a big clue here. The examiner is saying, I want you to solve that quadratic equation and write the answer to 3 synonym figures, implying it's not going to be very easy. So you need to appreciate that you are going to use this formula. Quadratic formula, the equation for solving quadratics. Minus b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, is that on your formula sheet for your exam? Or have you got to learn it? Well, you need to find out. Ask your teacher. Ask your lecturer. Now there's not enough room on that to work it out, I don't think, so I'm going to get another piece of paper and let's make sure I don't squash it all up. So I'm going to solve that using this formula, minus b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. I had to learn that, so no reason why you shouldn't, but it may be on your formula sheet. We need to appreciate that the formula says that a is 3, b is plus 4, and c is minus 200. Now you could write that down. You don't have to, but if you did that and you got it wrong, maybe you'll get some credit for appreciating that. Let's substitute these values into there. So minus b is minus 4, plus or minus the square root of b squared is 4 fourths of 16, b squared is 4 squared. Now what about this? Now it's up to you how you write it down, but I'm going to write it as minus 4 like that, multiplied by a, which is plus 3. I'm actually going to put the plus in there, multiplied by c, which is minus 200. Now it is a calculator paper over 2 a's, which is 2 3s are 6. It is a calculator paper, but at what point you pick up the calculator is up to you. I actually wouldn't do it yet. I think to myself, a minus times a plus is a minus, and then that minus times that minus will give me a plus without using a calculator. 4 3s are 12, and then 2 12s are 24, but we need 2 4 with 2 noughts. Now whether you picked up a calculator and did that straight away, including the 16, is entirely up to you. But I have seen it go wrong so many times. Whereas without a calculator, I've got to that point there. Right, now we've got two answers here. We've got minus this plus this divided by that, and minus this divided by that. So let's have a go with the calculator and see how we get on. Minus 4, well you can't do that with the minus sign there, you have to do that with the negative there. So negative 4 plus square root of 2, 4, 1, 6. I'm going to press the equals button, and then I'm going to divide that by 6. That's how I'm going to do it. And I do it again just to see that I haven't made a mistake. Now let's do it with the minus sign. So we've got negative 4 minus the square root of 2, 4, 1, 6. Press the equals button. That's the top. Now I'm going to divide by the 6 underneath. So we've got two answers. And it does actually say write it sensibly to 3 significant figures. So I'll write that as minus 7.53 and minus 8.86. It is your exam paper, so how you do these things is up to you. If you arrive at the right answer, then what you're doing is perfectly okay. But there's 4 marks here, so if you made a mistake along the way, you wouldn't get all the 4 marks. But if you show you're working out, you get 1 or 2 or maybe 3 marks. But I'm going to say 2 marks for the working out and then 1 for each answer. So that's the total number of marks for that question.